All right, it's your boy. I'm back. You see me. You definitely see the book. So let me read some of y'all real quick, right? God been on this. Want to make sure I understand. He said, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day, many will say to me, 'Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name and cast out demons in your name and do many mighty works in your name?' Then will I declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness." That's Matthew 7:21 to 23. So this has been going on in Mashana now for a minute now, right? So like a week or so. So I hadn't got to it because I wasn't really understanding. So I'll just pull the verse up real quick on Google on my phone. But it made sense. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all know I love my pastor. So, but he said something one Sunday that's actually imperative and is relatable to what we're talking about. What he said was, I'm gonna put this camera back a little bit, y'all. So what he said was, there's God's people and then there's churchgoers. I'm gonna say that again because I want y'all to get it. He said there's God's people and then there are churchgoers. See, there's a whole lot of people who read the Bible. There's a lot of people that go to church, but then there's a lot of people who actually have a life with God. I want to clarify that. A life with God means you're living and doing His will. You're abiding by His grace and His mercy, but you looking to Him for everything. Like when I wake up in the morning, first thing I do is pray. Do I sin a lot of times? Of course I do. Sometimes I make mistakes. I'm human. I'm in this flesh, but I know how to have a repentant heart. I know not how to dwell in whatever it was. It's like, you know what? That ain't for me no more. Let me back away from this. It's not that everything changes right then and there, but some things take a little time because it ain't that God didn't take it from you. It's that I had to let go of it. Watch out, somebody. So when he said, "I never knew you," you can go to church all day long. You can read the Bible back and forth and quote every single scripture verbatim, wholeheartedly. Don't mean you know him. See, he said, "I never knew you," because basically you don't know him. So when God be like, who are you again? And you are, see, that's some questions he gonna be asking y'all because you got to get to this place where you're secure in your stance with God. Perfect example. On your job, are you secure in your position where you know, hey, this is my position, can't nobody take it. I know what I'm doing. I know what's going on. You're secure in that. Or in a relationship, you secure, okay, this is my wife. We don't do this. We don't do extramarital stuff. We keep it perfect. We keep it relational. We understand each other. When you're about to say something, I understand what you're going to say, but I actually comprehend. And it's relatable because we have that type of relationship. Well, the same thing with God. You got to have a relationship with him. You've got to take the time to pray. You've got to take the time to fast. You've got to take the time to read. You've got to take the time to study. But the most important part about having a relationship with God is learning to listen. So I don't want this for nobody. I don't want us to all be in that line and he be like, "Come on, man. Come on, my guy." That's how I feel. So y'all understand that. He be like, "Chris, what's happening?" Jesus like, "That's my dude. Come on in, my man. What's happening?" And you in line right behind me like, "Who is that?" You like, "And you are?" You like, Jesus out there. He's like, "You ain't on the guest list." Poof. It's over for you. I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. You got to really think about that. That's the thing we don't think about. Because in part of my prayers, when I pray every morning after I'm done praying and listening, it said, "My goal is heaven." I want y'all to let that sink in for a second. My goal is heaven. My goal, even though God already dwells in us, don't get that twisted. He lives in us and abides in us on a daily basis. But my goal is to see him face to face. It's not about the money. It's not about owning a bunch of land and properties, which I'm going to do. It's not about none of that. The goal is him. The goal is heaven. So until we get a mindset where he's our goal, that's our objective, to live the way he wants to live so we can see him face to face. And there's a plethora of questions I got to ask, but I can't ask them till I get there. So I want y'all to think about that and always let that sink in. It's your boy. Grab your copy. Peace.